about streaming and what it means for the mobile ecosystem. So a few questions that we're going to answer today. One, just who is BlueStacks? The second one is why am I talking to you? And then the third one, I've got this a couple times now. Like, we all partied really hard last night, so if you want to sleep, it's totally okay. I won't feel bad. So a little bit about BlueStacks and just who BlueStacks is. When I look at BlueStacks, it's software you download for your PC, allows you to run any Android game or app directly on your PC. So we sit right at the intersection of mobile and PC. If you look at our user base, we're really like the largest gathering of hardcore users that are playing strategy games, RPG games, MOBAs. So it connects games and gamers all right in one place. And so today we have about 175 million people have installed BlueStacks, and our MAU is right at 50 million worldwide. So Newzoo actually wrote an article in December last year about BlueStacks, and they found that the core user base in Southeast Asia really is all about playing mobile games on their PC, and it's one of the fastest growing trends in Southeast Asia. And so that leads us to who is the BlueStacks core gamer. So we talk a lot about BlueStacks. Okay, so it's PC. I got that. It's PC software. Kind of weird that you're playing mobile games on PC, but it actually is. It's actually pretty useful. A lot of people do like it, and so our core gamer spends over 3 hours per day playing games on BlueStacks. They spend 182 minutes per day. Looking at their spending habits, they spend 3.2x on BlueStacks. So if I'm paying $1 on mobile for a game, usually you're going to be spending over $3 on BlueStacks for that same mobile game. And the user usually tries 2 or 3 new apps a week. So the user is going to have his favorite or her favorite game that they're playing on a consistent basis. But then they're also going to have several that they're trying new apps every single week. And as we all know through our different companies here, gamers tend to be pretty loud. They like to make lots of submissions on chat and support requests. They can be pretty noisy. I guess the squeaky wheel gets the attention. So gamers like to blow up the QA, blow up the support. They prefer things to be done their way. And so we started seeing requests for streaming. Okay, how do I stream this game? How do I do this? We started seeing a lot of those requests come up on all of our chats. So it brought us to the realization, okay, we need to do something with streaming. Okay, how do we make streaming really easy? How do we bring streaming to the masses? And as we looked at it, and we started looking at the whole of streaming, like, streaming's really complicated. Like, there's a lot of really interesting and challenging bits to streaming. So you've got to know terms like OBS, Open Broadcast Software. There's XSplit, which is a software that people use. So if you've ever watched a stream, you see people have got like their camera here, they've got their big microphone, and then they've got a couple monitors set up. So it takes a lot of expensive software to do that. And it's an expensive investment in equipment, in software, and time to set it up. And there's really not that many prior to us getting started. Like, there was really no help. Like, how did we get started? How do we start doing streaming? How do we make this actually happen? And there was no just easy button that we could push just to make streaming happen. So we decided, okay, we're going to do streaming. We're going to add something to BlueStacks to allow users to start streaming. And if we're going to do this, we have to be really agnostic about the platform. So we integrated with Twitch. We integrated with Facebook Live. In China specifically, we integrated with Douyu and Panda. And so those are pretty much the 4 streaming platforms that are out there right now. And so to give you an idea of how streaming works, let me show these launch videos. So this was our integration with Facebook Live. We created a lot of custom filters, so because not every game is going to be portrait, not every game is going to be landscape, so depending on the style of your game, you can have custom filters and different things on the sides to make it a lot easier for you to interact with your audience. When you are posting, like when you're going to start streaming onto Facebook Live, you can change all kinds of cool things, change the layout, add tags, stuff like that. You can interact with people. And yeah, you can have your webcam on, so you can stream the mobile game. You can also have your face up there. You can talk to your people. And one of the things that we found too is that people like to do makeup videos. So like they actually like to watch makeup videos on BlueStacks and chat with their friends. They watch Netflix, watch YouTube videos of how to cook, stream music with each other. So there's a lot of really cool use cases that actually came out of streaming with Facebook Live and BlueStacks. And so that's actually Facebook Live, which tended to lend itself more towards like an all-encompassing thing. So makeup videos, lots of games being streamed. But then when you look at the Twitch integration, Twitch really ended up being, I have no idea what that says. So I'm assuming, is that an ad?
You can skip it in 4 seconds.
Okay. Sorry, my Russian's not good. Cool. So this is our integration with Twitch. Before, like you had to, like I said, you had to have a lot of expensive setup. There was really no way for you to plug and play your mobile game, Clash Royale, whatever, directly into Twitch and to start streaming. So we partnered together with Twitch. They gave us access to all their APIs. Same with Facebook Live. But we made a decision pretty early on, like I said, to be agnostic about platforms. We want to integrate with everybody that had lots of user base and make it as simple as possible. So you launch BlueStacks, launch a mobile game, click go live, and you're live, and you're already streaming. So you can chat with all the people. So you can do all your custom commands in the chat. So it's actually it was a pretty simple experience. And so when I said earlier that there was no easy button for us to learn about streaming and then to just make streaming happen, we wanted to create the easy button ourselves. And let's see. Yep, so some post-launch stats. So we tried to make it as easy as possible for folks all across the world to start streaming. So we now have about 150,000 streamers every week, not including China. So 150,000 people are streaming every single week. 20,000 streams are viewed every single day, and so that could be makeup videos, that could be games being streamed. And we talked with Twitch and BlueStacks in the few months that we had this last year. We actually contributed over 4% of all Twitch streams in 2016. So that brings me to what have we learned? So can I share what we have learned? So there's 5 learnings, and then there's 3 takeaways at the end. So learning number 1, each platform is definitely going to have its pros and cons. So Twitch user base tends to be more mature. It tends to be a lot geared towards like RPG, hardcore users. Facebook Live and DoYou and Panda, they actually tend to be everything, so people can stream whatever they want to. Learning number 2, a user really cannot stream effectively from your mobile device. So if you pull out your mobile phone, like there's only a handful of apps that have actually directly integrated with Twitch because it's not very easy to integrate all their APIs into your mobile game and have a really good experience. And so that's one of the things that we tried to figure out. Okay, can you actually stream from a mobile game on your iPhone or on your Android? And it's not really possible. The third learning, it takes a very unique person to stream. They've got to be funny, engaging. They have to be able to build community. So I tried streaming, and I'm not a very funny person. So I had 0 followers for like a couple weeks. And then I asked our community person to follow me, and so was my first follower when I started streaming. So it took a long time for me to get that 1 follower, and the same is true for most people that are actually streaming. So if you're going through the user base on Twitch, on Facebook Live, on DoYou or Panda, there seem to be the same consistent names rising to the top. That's because they usually are building a following. You have a community, so some people, there's actually one video I saw, and I couldn't find the YouTube video for this that I recorded, so I apologize. But she was sitting there on BlueStacks, recording herself eating noodles and slurping noodles really loudly while she was watching food videos. And she had like 300,000 people watching her at the same time, and I don't get that. But that was her community. That's what she really liked. And I'm sure there's plenty more stuff like that out there that I haven't seen yet. So the learning number 4, streaming requires investment. And so how does this apply for all of us as folks that work on mobile? You can't just say, okay, we're going to do streaming, and it's done. All these learnings kind of play into each other. It requires time, it requires money and investment in okay, are we going to do this? Are we going to make this a part of our brand? Are we going to make this a part of something that we would do as a strategy for our company? And as far as the money piece goes, it's an investment in money and trying to reach out to the streamers, because you have to reach out to the streamer, see if they want to stream your games, and then work with them to recruit the audience. But I think the fifth learning and the final learning from this is that streamers and viewers are definitely the people that we want to reach. As we've gone through the data and we've looked at the installs that are happening for each of these folks that are streaming, they're definitely the people that we want to reach. People that are watching streams every single day are the ones that are spending the most money in the games. People that are streaming the games are the ones that tend to install lots of apps and to spend a lot of time looking through, like, okay, how do I play this game? How do I look up strategy videos? In fact, so we had this one person who was getting a following on Clash Royale, and he started doing tutorials directly on BlueStacks, and he would have people posting inside the chat, okay, the next time can you play with this deck? And he'd say, okay, sure. And so he'd go in, he'd create his deck in Clash Royale, start up a new battle, and he was giving people tutorials and hints on how to play each deck. And that's, I mean, we can't ask for more than that. Like, so we can't ask for a better user. So I think one of the final things too, so how do we, how can I learn more about streaming? And I think at the end of the day, it's all about how do I make money from this? So 3 conclusions. The partnering with someone who understands the core gamer market and streaming is invaluable. So obviously, I'm not going to stand up here and say BlueStacks is the best and we're the only ones, because it's not that kind of a pitch. But I do think that partnering with someone who understands the streaming market intimately, because it's such a crazy world and it changes a lot, it's definitely invaluable. You have to invest resources into building relationships with different streamers. Again, it all comes back to, is this the right thing for your company? Is this something you want to do? And if it is, then you've got to go all out. You've got to invest the time with the streamers, finding the right streamers that are going to help you advance your brand and help you build it, help you build that audience with the people who are watching streams. And then a great idea, and something we've seen from a lot of folks, from anybody from Clash Royale to Hearthstone, Vainglory, so they've all contacted us, and they've all run tournaments through BlueStacks and held contests for new game launches, and then for major game updates. When every 3 months they hold a massive contest and a big tournament for lots of folks when there's something new and exciting in the game. So that's pretty much it from me. Thanks for bearing with us during the technical issues. Any questions?
Thank you very much, Ben. Thank you.